Welcome to Revlog, where we are quickly approaching Christmas.
We, yes, sir.
I
Yes,
mean,
we are.
it's that time of
Remember
year.
Christmas at first? That was a couple of weeks ago.
Good times. Good times.
Such a sweet time
Didn't
around
you
here.
wear that last week?
I did.
Wow.
I did.
So
you
have
too.
let me
And
draw y'all
you.
back in here. Let me draw y'all back in here. Have you been keeping up with your Advent devotional
I
guide?
have every
You-
day.
Have you been keeping up with your Advent devotional guide?
What is that?
Speak
What
truth.
is that?
Speak
Where-
truth.
Are those
Wow.
in print now?
Okay. I'll go get you one.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Please help us hold Brian accountable to reading the Advent devotional guide.
I will. Now that we're 2 weeks
Bryan
into
at fbcsa.org.
All right. Well, today we're moving further in Matthew chapter 8,
Mhm.
verse 23.
Mhm.
Jesus calms the storm.
Mhm.
Get on the boat. Brian, why don't you kick this off for us? What were your initial reactions to this text?
It's so interesting how Jesus is snoozing away, and the disciples come, and his response is he's not alarmed or anything like that. we we think that we are at the mercy of this universe, and his disciples certainly thought that, but we're often in that same boat, no pun intended.
Yes,
But
it was.
but yeah, okay, it was. But we're not at the mercy
That's right.
of the universe. We're at the mercy of God,
Yeah.
and that is part and parcel of the best news we could ever hear. Is that we're at the mercy of God, not random events happening. And somebody I read once said that they had faith in Jesus, but they did not have his faith in God. And I think we see that distinction.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I think a lot of times we do see ourselves in life as just sort of sitting in a leaky boat.
Yes.
Where we're in the hands of God. I mean, he's the
Exactly.
one that's
Yeah.
protecting us and
That's
shaping
exactly
us.
Well
right.
said.
Yeah. So,
You
what
know-
were your initial thoughts?
I don't know if it's like this with you, but whenever all of us have leadership roles, we're called as leaders, and that's just part of who we are in our DNA. But there are times, particularly when I'm home with Dad, that I just kind of give him that mantle, give that
Sure.
that, and I just kind of fall into that follower kind of mentality. All these guys were called, were in Jesus, upper cabinet and
Right.
in leadership, and some of them were fishermen.
Right.
So
Right, like they had never experienced
a
something like
storm
that.
before, and
What?
but now a storm comes, and they just don't know what to. Sometimes when we have that strong leadership in front of us, we forget our role as leader or the calling that's upon us, and we panic. And I think that's part of Jesus' rebuke to them, going, "Come on, guys. I mean, what? Why are you waking me up? I mean,
Right.
I'm not bothered. If I'm not bothered, you probably shouldn't be
Yeah,
bothered
that's right.
either."
Right.
Yeah.
But it's that we should always defer to Jesus, of course, but we shouldn't forget, what we've been called to be a part of and to walk through sometimes.
Yeah, and sometimes that's a great point.
You can use it if you want to.
Yeah, we'll add that to the sermon. Do I have to quote you?
No.
To quote Dr. Aaron Hufty. But I find myself sometimes, especially when I believe and I feel like I've been near God and I'm with God, and I think, if I'm doing it right ever, I'm doing it right now. That if I'm near Jesus, in the back of my mind, sometimes I think there should never be a storm. Right. If I'm with Christ, why is there a storm when that's just not the case?
That's
I mean,
right.
sometimes they still come with fury. I mean, here they are sitting with the Christ, and it's not a calm night.
Yeah.
It's a furious night. But even then, Jesus still comes out. Why are you acting like this?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. So, Brian, help us with a question here. What question came to mind?
Am I someone that gives off vibes of anxiety or panic, or am I someone who walks confidently in this creation? This is God's good world in which we live. He made it. He called it good. Its creation is fallen, but it is still being redeemed by God. And as we live here, we don't have anything to fear If God be for us, who can be against us? It's what do people see that when
Yeah.
when they see me? You know,
Yeah.
when I walk into a room, do I fill it with anxiety or do I fill it with peace?
Mm.
Yeah, speaking of leadership, I mean, this takes us on a good road. One of the things that I took away from seminary, one of my leadership classes with Dr. Robert Creech, was typically the leader in the room is the calmest person in the
Hmm.
room. Where, especially in difficult
Hmm.
days, it's your leader who has to be the calm one. If you're panicking, you're not the leader,
That's right.
and you're
That's
not going to
right.
be the one
That's,
leading the
that's a
group.
good word.
So, Aaron, what question came to mind?
Yeah. So I think just kind of a point two, just that we should expect storms. I think
Mm.
you were
Mm.
saying that just there's a very clear example here that storms are going to come. If they came with Jesus, they're going to come with us.
Sure.
So, am I quick to panic? Am I
Mm.
quick to trust Him that there's a storm, there's a reason, and that my relationship with Him hasn't changed, and so I shouldn't throw my hands up. I should just go, God, you brought me here for a reason. Help me
Right.
through this.
That's
And
right.
and that the idea then is, am I trusting Him through the storm? Am I trusting Him through it? If it's going to come, am I just wringing my hands, woe is me, or am I saying, God, help me, we'll get
Yeah.
through this?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And we would love to hear your thoughts on this stormy sea text. Comment below.